Alright, hey guys, welcome to a new Humble Bundle video. This is going to be for the Humble Choice of June. It released yesterday, but I completely forgot about it. I had a lot of things going on, but this month's Humble Choice included Civilization 6, the Platinum Edition, which is a fantastic game to see in the Humble Monthly. But there's a big variety of different games, some good, some not so good. I think last month's May choice was better, but you can get every single game shown here for just $12. And a little bit later, I'll go through each and every one. I also wanted to mention that they changed the layout for new Humble Bundles. So this is like the new Guilty Gear bundle, and as you can see, the whole layout on the page has changed, and I thought it was kind of interesting. They try to hide it, so they don't really just show you that you can pay $1 and get some games. By default, it just shows this, and it expects you to pay $10 for like the full bundle, and it's kind of hard to even understand what the games are. It just looks very bad in my opinion, but I guess they're just trying to get people to pay for the full bundle instead of paying for the tiers. So Guilty Gear is a like anime style fighting game. There's quite a few in the series. They're pretty good games, so that was a new bundle. And then there's the Rising Storm 2 Vietnam bundle. Get everything shown here, and then there's a coupon to get Killing Floor 2 for 75% off, so that's a good one. And then I did make a video on this one. This is the Best of Bandai Namco bundle. So since the layout has changed, I do want to mention that you guys still can help support me in this channel by using my Humble referral links. They just kind of changed where it is, and they kind of hit it a little bit more than what it used to be. So in the past I've mentioned this, but if you want to support this channel before making a purchase on Humble Bundle, use my referral link, and then if you go to the right hand side of the page now and click adjust donation, there's two options here, but there's a third option called custom amount. And if you click the custom amount, my name will actually pop up here, and you can choose to send me however much of the purchase as you want. You can even send me the full purchase amount, which is pretty crazy, but it's good to know that this custom amount is here, because if you just wanted to send your whole purchase to charity, you can. You don't have to support Humble Bundle, you don't have to support the developers, so it's good to know that this is here, and I do appreciate any of you who decide to use my referral links. So before I get into the Humble Choice, I do like to mention that if you want a different variety of games and a little bit lower cost, check out fanatical.com. They have a bunch of game bundles and a bunch of different games compared to Humble Bundle. Fanatical tends to re-release the same bundles over and over again, so even though they have great bundles, I don't like to make videos just covering the same exact thing over and over. But I do encourage you guys to check out this website. I'll have it linked in the description below. So back to the Humble Choice. Again, you can pick up this whole bundle for just $12. The first game, Sid Meier's Civilization 6. This is the Platinum Edition. What can I say about this one? The Civilization series is an incredibly addictive turn-based grand strategy game. Personally, it's one of the most relaxing games, as well as just having like a fantastic soundtrack, very pretty visuals, seemingly unending amount of content, and just one of those games where you keep telling yourself like, okay, I need to go to bed, just one more turn, and before you know it, the sun's coming up and your whole sleep schedule is ruined. So I do encourage you guys to try out Civilization if you've never played it before. Next up, we have a game called Secret Neighbor. This is a bit of a social multiplayer horror game. It's a bit like Among Us in a way that the game's played out. There's 6 players, all kids trying to find several colored keys throughout the house in order to rescue their friend, although one of the players is disguised as the neighbor, so you basically have to like deceive the people around you. Anyways, it's a decent game. If you can get a full lobby together of like-minded players, I'm sure you'll have some fun. Then we have Stubbs the Zombie, which is certainly an oldie. This was released back in 2005, I believe on the original Xbox. In this game, you actually play as the zombie and you go around eating brains and doing a bunch of silly things. It's definitely a comedy and just something to have a little bit of fun with. And then there's Worms Rumble, and you get some DLC with it. This is the latest Worms game with some largely updated graphics. However, generally speaking, the game's population is dead, so you probably won't be able to find a full lobby unless you have a bunch of friends to play with you. Personally, I'm not even a big fan of the series, so I would pass on this one. And following that, we have a game called Going Under. This is an action beat-em-up roguelike. The combat system is excellent, the graphics are vibrant and very unique, has some great writing, and it's genuinely a funny like dialogue with a bunch of office tropes and a ton of wild weapons and just wacky enemies. loads of charm with going under, and I think it's a game most people will enjoy. Following that, we have Panzer Paladin. This is a retro side-scrolling action platformer. It's a bit of a hit or miss. If you enjoy old Mega Man style games, it is nice. It is a nice experience. However, there is a bunch of I would say like arbitrarily difficult stages and mechanics that may not be worth struggling through. However, as a retro fan, I think the game looks great. And next up, we have a visual novel called Milky Way Prince. This one is rather interesting, has some unique mechanics for a visual novel, and it touches up on some like abusive relationship themes. Personally, I'm not a big fan of visual novels, but this one, it caught my eye. It looks a little bit different from most, so it might be fun. But again, I'm just not a big visual novel fan. And then next on the list, we have Desolate. This is another game I probably wouldn't recommend anyone even download. It's one of those open world survival type games, but the entire game just feels a bit lacking and somewhat broken or just unpolished. If you want to spend hours and hours running around with like a clunky combat system in a fairly depressing world, then you might enjoy this game. Just keep in mind, I personally don't think it's that great. So following Desolate, we have a very charming game called Eichenfell. This is a heartwarming and twist-filled turn-based tactical RPG about friendship, trust, love, loss, and just a group of troublesome magic students. If you like cute, charming little RPGs, this one is certainly worth checking out. Following Eichenfell, we have Paw Paw Paw. This is a rather interesting action game that's a bit more fun if you play co-op with some friends. It's a beat 'em up, kind of like an arcade style beat 'em up, where you journey around, leveling up your character, looting for weapons and companions. You can tell it's an indie game though, being a bit rough in certain aspects, but it's a good little game to say the least. And then following that, we have Effie, which is a 3D action adventure game with a bright visual style and easy to understand combat system. Definitely has an old school vibe with puzzles, platforming, collecting things, and just a very charming atmosphere. The only downside to the game is that it's very casual and lacks like any real challenge. But if you want a nice, casual, old school style game, Effie is great. And then the last game on the list is Disjunction. Well, this one's kind of odd because you don't get a Steam key, you get a GOG or good old games key, which is DRM free. I don't know why they decided not to include a Steam key, because I really don't want to download the GOG launcher just for this one game. So that's kind of puzzling in my opinion. I'm a Steam game collector, so I am a bit disappointed with this GOG key. But the game itself, it looks promising, doesn't look bad, but like I said, I just don't want to download GOG just to download the game. So those are all the games for this month's Humble Choice. I will say, in my opinion, it feels very lackluster compared to last month. Last month had some really good games: Metro Exodus, Darksiders Genesis, Hellpoint, Delicious 3. I mean, there's a lot of other good games in last month's Humble Choice. So I don't know, I just don't think it really lived up to my expectations, and I wasn't really happy with a lot of the other choices. I think that at least like half of them just aren't games that I would ever even want to download or play. But I do think Civ 6, the Platinum Edition, is worthwhile by itself. Secret Neighbor might be fun to play with friends, and there's a couple others that just, I don't know, this month I'm just not too thrilled with it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Everyone has different, I guess, opinions on which games are good or which ones aren't, and people like different genres. So I'm no different. I have my favorite genres and my favorite games types, and some of these just bleh, at least in my opinion. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think of the new Humble Choice. Let me know what you guys think of this new user face design for the Humble Bundles. I personally do not like it. They haven't really changed the user interface for many years, like going back to like the first Humble Bundle. So this is the first big change, and I don't know, I think they just changed it to try to get more money out of people, but I just think it's very odd. Very odd. But get to look forward to videos with this new change in the future when new Humble Bundles are released. And if any of you guys do decide to subscribe to the Humble Choice, please use my referral link, and I will love you guys forever. But beyond that, that concludes this video. Check out Fanatical, a bunch of great game bundles there for a much, much cheaper cost. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.